Today I choose to follow you.
Good morning, it's Monday the 15th of August and this is Coffee with God. Trust that you got a decent cup of coffee to start the day. I got a big cup this morning. If you have your Bibles, turn to Isaiah 38 and verse 3. Now, King Hezekiah was one of the kings that Isaiah prophesied over, and the Lord told him to go and tell Hezekiah that his days were up and he's to put his house in order. And then King Hezekiah asks for more time. But as he prays, listen to what he says, and I want you to think about that for this morning. Then Hezekiah turned his face to the wall and prayed to the Lord and said, "Remember now, O Lord, I beseech you, how I have walked before you in truth and with a whole heart, and have done what is good in your sight." And Hezekiah wept bitterly. Then the word of the Lord came to Isaiah, saying, "Go and say to Hezekiah, I've heard your prayer, I've seen your tears, behold, I'll add 15 years to your life." That's not the point. The point that I want to make is Hezekiah turned his face to the wall and prayed to the Lord. And he could, with honesty, say, "Remember, I beseech you, Lord, to remember how I've walked before you in truth and with a whole heart." And I love the terminology, a whole heart. It's when you put your all, it's when you're fully 110% committed to that which the Lord would have you do every single day. I want you to think about it. You never know when you're going to have to give an account of your life. Jy weet nooit wanneer jy rekenskap aan iemand moet gee oor jou dade en dit wat jy gedoen het. En op daai dag moet jy nie daar sit en besef dat jy sal of moet lieg, of jy kan regtig getuig oor 'n hart wat volledig aan Jesus of aan God toevertrou is, toegewy is. And it's so important to realize that one day we're going to have to give account. We're going to have to answer to somebody or someone. And when that day comes, don't you want to be able to, with a clear conscience and with absolute honesty and integrity, turn around and say, "But this is who I am. Remember what I've done. Look back and see the person that I've been." You know, so often we go into a day and we don't think that we're busy building our legacy, that we're busy building, writing the story that our children and our grandchildren are going to tell about us. We never know when that day is going to come. And so we sometimes live flippantly. We live thoughtlessly. We don't think about the long-term effect of our words and our actions in this day. And here King Hezekiah could turn around and say, "You know what? I want you to remember that I've walked before you in truth and with a whole heart." Now, that's also important to me. So often we only want to bring out the good things that we've done, and we don't want to own or admit to the bad things that we've done. And he says here, "I've walked in truth. When I messed up, I've let you know. I've walked in truth when I didn't do what you wanted me to do, when I missed the boat, when I acted too late, when I reacted instead of acted on what you wanted me to do, then I was wrong. But with a whole heart, met 'n hele hart en met volle waarheid, het ek voor u gewandel al die dae van my lewe." So come on, as we go into this week, realize that you're busy writing your legacy. You're busy making your story as you go along. So think about everything. One day you may have to turn around and say, "This is what I did." And I want to say to you, it's a joy to be able to own what you've done with pride. To own up to, because when you've messed up, you keep a short account. As soon as you realize, "Hey, I messed up here," you go and you make right. Keep short account so that there's no interest that's allowed to be factored in and grow into that account, and you just pay what's due every time as soon as it's due, relationally speaking. So Isaiah 38 verse 3 reminds us that firstly, every single decision, every word is part of our legacy. And why don't you own all of it with pride and with honesty this morning? Not just what you've done, but as you go into this week, why don't you realize that you can own everything you do? Live fully, live openly, because if you mess up, make up. Own it and make up. Don't try and deflect, don't try and rationalize, don't try and excuse. Own it and grow through it. And then you can, like Hezekiah, turn around and say, Lord, I beseech you to remember how I have walked before you in truth and with a whole heart, with all of me, all of my emotions, all of my thoughts, all of my dreams, all of my desires. I've walked before you with a whole heart. I've hidden nothing from you all my life. Who knows what the Lord will do for you and what He'll open up, the opportunities He'll open up in this day and every tomorrow for you to glorify Him in. Have a wonderful Monday and rest of the week. May the Lord bless you.
To give my yes